physios, I welcome you all to our channel Physiotherapy. We are back with our next lecture on heat therapy or thermotherapy. Now we are going to study about application of different type of heat, that is various different types of heat which is used to produce the heating effect. First is the paraffin wax bath. Okay, so it is the paraffin wax bath. Okay, so it is the paraffin wax bath. Paraffin wax, it is a mixture of paraffin wax, I have written PW, and mineral oil, MO, and its ratio is either 6:1 or 7:1. So what is paraffin wax? It is the mixture of paraffin wax and mineral oil. What is the ratio? 6:1 or 7:1. Or it is the mixture of paraffin wax, mineral oil and some amount of petroleum jelly, and now the ratio will become 2:1:1, that is 2:1:1. Okay, and petroleum jelly is also used. Okay, so this is paraffin wax. Here, what is the importance of adding mineral oil? Why we are adding mineral oil? The normal melting point of wax is around 54 degrees Celsius, but by adding the mineral oil, its melting point is reduced, okay, to the 42 to 52 degrees Celsius. Also, this mineral oil help in lubricating, that is easy application and easy removal. Okay, so till now what we have studied: what is paraffin wax, what is its composition, and what is the importance of adding mineral oil. Okay, so it is to reduce the melting point. Okay, MO is mineral oil. I have written the full form there. Next is the method of application. Before method of application, we can just understand that paraffin wax bath, it is a container which is having the paraffin wax, and it is connected to the electrical supply, and by heat the wax get melt, and that molten wax is applied to the body part. What are the various method of application? First is dipping method or glove method. For example, this is a tub or this is a wax bath. Okay, and I want to apply paraffin wax on my hand. I will put my hand into the wax bath for 1 second, then I will take it out, and so after 2-3 seconds I will again put it back into the bath. So this thing I will repeat 6 to 12 times, so that 3 to 4 mm layer is formed. Okay, 3 to 4 or 2 to 6 mm layer of the paraffin wax is formed on the hand. Then it is covered by a plastic bag and towel, and heating is given by this method. So this is the dipping or glove method. That is, we will dip our hand into the wax bath for 1 second, then we will take it out, and without moving it again we will put it in the wax bath, and this thing is repeated for 6 to 12 times, so that a 2 to 6 mm layer is formed, further covered by a plastic bag. Hello physios, I welcome you all to our channel Physiotherapy. We are back with our next lecture on heat therapy. So now our topic of interest is application of different type of heat, among which we are going to study about paraffin wax. Okay, so paraffin wax is one of the most commonly used heating modality, and it is easy to apply and safe for us. Okay, so what is the composition of paraffin wax? It is the mixture of paraffin wax and mineral oil. PW is paraffin wax, MO is mineral oil, and its ratio is 6:1 or 7:1. Or it can be a mixture of paraffin wax, mineral oil and petroleum jelly. And here the ratio will become 2:1:1. Okay, so these are the compositions of paraffin wax. Either it can be mixture of paraffin wax and mineral oil at 6:1 or 7:1, or paraffin wax, mineral oil and petroleum jelly in ratio 2:1:1. Okay, so now next important part is what is the importance of adding mineral oil. Okay, what is the importance of adding mineral oil? This mineral oil help to reduce the melting point so that it can easily melt by application of heat, and easily we can apply it. We need not to apply a lot of heat to it to make the wax into a molten state. So the normal melting point of paraffin wax is around 54 degrees Celsius. Okay, but by adding mineral oil, it will become 42 to 52 degrees Celsius. And this is the important thing. Next, it also help in the lubrication. That is, by adding mineral oil, it become easy for us to apply and remove. But why? Because it is giving a lubrication effect. Hello physios, I welcome you all to our channel Physiotherapy. We are back with our next lecture on heat therapy or thermotherapy, and now we are going to start our first method of application of heat, which is the paraffin wax bath. So what is paraffin wax? It is a mixture of paraffin wax and petroleum jelly and mineral oil. Okay, so it can be of two types. That is, either it can be a mixture of paraffin wax and mineral oil. See, it can be paraffin wax and mineral oil, or it can be paraffin wax, mineral oil and petroleum jelly. And in both the conditions, the ratio is different. If we are using paraffin wax and mineral oil, the ratio should be 6:1 or 7:1. That is 6 part of paraffin wax and 1 part of mineral oil. And if we are using paraffin wax, mineral oil and petroleum jelly, ratio should be 2:1:1. That is 2 part of paraffin wax, 1 part of mineral oil and 1 part of petroleum jelly. Okay, I have written short form. You can see the full form. Okay, PW is paraffin wax, MO mineral oil and PJ petroleum jelly. Okay, so now next important question is, what is the importance of adding mineral oil? Why are we adding mineral oil? Because we want the wax to be like a solidifying agent around the body part. It is sufficient in doing that. But why we are adding mineral oil? This mineral oil help to reduce the melting point. That is, the normal melting point of the wax is 54 degrees Celsius. So we have to give a heat so that it reaches to 54 degrees Celsius. Then it will start melt. But if we are adding some mineral oil, its melting point will be reduced. That is, it will start melt at 42 to 52 degrees Celsius. So the isolated wax is having melting point at 54 degrees Celsius. So we will give the heat to the paraffin wax until it reach to 54. But by adding mineral oil at 42 degrees Celsius, it will start melt. So it is good because we need to give less electricity to produce the melting of the wax. Next is, it helps in lubrication. So easy application and easy removal is seen. Now different mode of application. It can be dipping, also called the glove method, dip and leave method, brushing method, pouring method and wrapping method. Okay, so these are some different methods to apply the paraffin wax. So first is dipping or glove method. Usually this method is used for the distal part, for example hand and foot. Here the part which is to be treated is dipped into the paraffin wax for 1 second, then we remove it. Now after 3 to 5 seconds, again we re-dip the body part into the wax, and this thing is repeated 6 to 12 times until 2 to 3 mm thick layer of wax is formed on the body part. Then it is covered by a plastic bag and further by a towel for conserving the heat so that minimal loss of heat occur. So this is the dipping or glove method used for distal parts. Okay, distal parts. Next is the dip and leave method. It is again used for the distal part, but here it is used in that condition if we want large amount of heating. Here the part is just dipped into the paraffin wax, but it is having a disadvantage. It can cause burn to the body part if the temperature of wax is high. So before using the dip and leave method, you just need to check the temperature of wax, that whether our patient can tolerate the dip and leave method or it can cause burn. Brushing method. It is used in the proximal parts such as shoulder and knees where dipping is not reliable. So here the body part is placed on a container, and further by brushing, that is by putting the brush into the paraffin wax, we brush it on the body part so as to apply a 2 to 3 mm layer, again covered by plastic bag and further covered by a towel to maintain the heating effect. Next is pouring method. It is again used in the proximal parts. So here the wax is taken into a jar and slowly it is poured on the body part which is to be treated, such as in case of knee joint. And here also we need to check the temperature. Why? Because if we are pouring the wax, so there may be condition we can pour a lot of wax, it can cause burn. So these two methods, dip and leave and pouring method, require a lot of care during the application. Next is the wrapping method. Here a bandage is dipped into the paraffin wax and further it is we can say placed on the body part, and body part is wrapped in that bandage. This can also be used on the back, okay, that is which is a larger area. We can apply the wrapping method on the back of the patient. Okay, so brushing method can also be used on the back of patient. So these two things on back and other larger areas. Okay, so these can be used by the therapist to provide heat. So these are different methods. Now, two important questions are that the paraffin wax is having low specific heat. The specific heat of paraffin wax is 2.72 kilojoule per kg per degree Celsius, while the specific heat of water is 4.2 kilojoule per kg per degree Celsius. What does this mean? Whenever we are applying paraffin wax to our body, definitely the heat will move from the paraffin wax to the body. That is, paraffin wax will lose the heat and our body will gain the heat. How much heat? So, for changing 1 degree Celsius, that is when the paraffin wax cool by 1 degree Celsius, it release this amount of heat, that is 2.72, which is very low as compared to 4.2, which is of water. So water can easily cause burn, but due to low specific heat, less burns are produced by the paraffin wax. Another important thing is the thermal conductivity. Why? Because in all these methods, okay, the layer of paraffin wax is 2 mm and 3 mm. Do you think that a lot of heat can be stored in the paraffin wax when we have wrapped it? Why? Because the paraffin wax will easily lose all the heat. Then how the heating is produced? It is having low thermal conductivity, which means it will act as an insulating agent between body surface and the environment. It will not allow any conduction of the heat. So it will preserve the heat on the body part. Also, it will prevent the sweating. So when you will remove the paraffin wax, you will see that the part will become moist, okay, moist and soft, which is also good in case of stiffness, that is the patient who are suffering from stiffness. So these two important terms we need to understand. Next is mode of action of paraffin wax. It is again very simple, so you can understand. This is the body part, we will apply wax here. It will form a layer on this hand, and the heat will be transferred by conduction from the paraffin wax to the skin, and local heating will occur in this particular part. Also, it will reduce the sweating, that is have a low thermal conductivity, so the sweat is present on the skin that is below the paraffin wax. So when you will remove it, you will see that the part become moist and soft, which is very good for us. Okay, let me draw the beautiful hand. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this is the mode of action. So what we have studied till now: what is paraffin wax, what is its composition, paraffin wax and mineral oil at 6171, paraffin wax, mineral oil, petroleum jelly at 2:1:1. What is the importance of adding mineral oil? It reduces the melting point. How much difference? Normally it is 54. By adding mineral oil, it become 42 to 52 degrees Celsius, which is very good. Next is different method: dip and leave, dip, leave, dip, leave. Repeat it 6 to 12 times until 3 to 4 mm layer is achieved. Then dip and leave method. We will just dip and leave the part into the wax. Next is brushing method. We will dip the brush into wax and brush it on the body part. And pouring and wrapping method. And after all these method of application, we will wrap a plastic cover, then wrap a towel to maintain the heating. Then low specific heat and thermal conductivity are important things which are helping the paraffin wax to produce a lot of heat. Why? And prevent from the burn also, because low specific heat is important part which help to reduce the chances of burn. Why? Because very less amount of energy is lost by the paraffin wax when it start cool. Okay, so this is the value. That is, whenever the water drop its temperature from 1 degree Celsius, which means let us say the water is at 54 degrees Celsius, and when it will come to 53 degrees Celsius, from 54 when it come to 53 degrees Celsius, it will produce 4.2 kilojoule energy, which will be absorbed by our skin, definitely cause burn. But here just 2.7 kilojoule energy is produced, which reduce the chances of burn. Okay, it can also cause burn, but to a lesser extent. And next, it is very simple part: therapeutic effect and contraindication are similar as we have studied previously. OA and RA in reducing the pain and stiffness, then chronic inflammation, adhesions and scar on skin. Our previous lecture was solely on the therapeutic effect. I have explained each and every therapeutic effect in that part. Next is contraindication: open wound, so it can cause infection because also the wound is open, and if we are applying excessive heat, it can cause vasodilation, further bleeding can also occur. Skin infection, yes, same wax is applied by the therapist on one person, then on second person, it can also spread the skin infection. Then if there is defective skin sensation, that is, I cannot sense that how much hot the wax is, it may definitely cause burn. Then ischemic conditions, here also problem will occur, and in skin allergy also it is contraindicated. Dangers, these are burns, then aggravation of inflammation, allergic reaction, and if there occurs spilling of the wax, it can also cause slipping and fall also can occur. So these are some basic things that you need to understand about the paraffin wax. Another important thing is that how to clean or purify your paraffin wax. For that, you need to put your wax into a container, mix some water in it, just boil it. Okay, so once the wax will melt and there will be like a boiling of the wax, you can just leave it. After some time, you will see that wax will float on water and all the dirt will settle down in the container. You can just remove the wax from the upper part, and at the lower part water and dirt will be collected. Okay, so how you can purify the wax? Put your wax into a container, mix some water in it and stir it. Then we will heat it until it get melt, not up to boiling, until it get properly melted, so that it become a liquid. Okay, so after some time you will see that the dirt will settle down in the container which is having water below, and at upper part there will be only wax. You can carefully remove the wax from the upper part as it solidify and your wax will be purified. Okay, so this is whole about the paraffin wax. Very simple, and more oftenly it is a practical demonstration part, and I will try, if I got chance to show you all these different methods, I will try my level best for that. So in our next lecture, now we will study about next modality regarding the heating or thermotherapy. Till then, you keep on studying. Thank you to one and all.